My name is Austin, and as a safety officer, I looked at this disaster from the eyes of a health inspector. The first things that I noticed was that the death toll of the explosion, as of right now, is about 218 people died and over 7,000 people were injured. Most of it, if not all of them, were caused by the initial explosion, but due to the negligence of the manager at the time, whose name was Hassan Khouretem, many more could have died. The main reason for the explosion was that over 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate caught fire and exploded. The ammonium nitrate had been stored in the port for over 7 years, and over those 7 years, they had never been safely stored or inspected. One of the problems that had occurred was that the person who did inspect them, when they initially arrived to the port, failed to use the correct hazard classification. Instead of labeling them as IMO 5.1, it incorrectly labeled them as IMO 5.0. IMO stands for isomaltose geosaccharide and is a mixture of short-chain carbohydrates which has a digestion-resistant property. This may have caused it to not be moved to the correct location for proper storage. Another issue that was present before the explosion was that the manager at the time was not supervising a group of people welding near the storage unit. Just a few hours before the explosion, the manager had a group of welders to come into the port and fix the door that was holding the chemicals. And because of the lack of supervision, we believe that they may have accidentally started a fire that may have found its way to the chemicals and started the chain reaction.
Hello, my name is Patrick Rodriguez, and as the head leader of Human Resources, I feel as if this disaster has horribly affected the Beirut community. Not only did the explosion kill 218 people, but it injured over 7,000 and permanently disabled over 150 people. It also rendered half of the Beirut healthcare non-functional, so if you think about it, most of the people who had been injured are not able to get treated for something that had nothing to do with them. One other issue that occurred is over 77,000 homes and apartments have been destroyed or damaged, which left over 300,000 people, which is half the population of Wyoming, homeless. Not only did it affect the homes of many families, but it also affected the education of the Lebanon people, destroying or damaging nearly 163 public or private schools. The explosion is currently affecting 56% of private businesses, ruining their chances to stay afloat. The explosion even affected wildlife and oceans. Since the explosion, the temperatures near the Mediterranean Sea have increased, which will increase the algae growth, leading to the formation of dead zones. The ammonium nitrate has been shown to kill fishes, turtles, coral reef, and sea plants. The ammonium nitrate has also made it to the waters nearby hazardous. These environmental impacts will continue to play negative impacts on the Lebanese health for many years to come.
My name is Keegan Katz, and as a community member of Beirut, I am heartbroken. My brother has tragically died during the explosions, and out of the 218 people that died, my brother's death has affected me the greatest. All he was doing was working for our family at the port. He had no idea that the ammonium nitrate was stored in a hazardous manner or that it was even there. Without my brother helping us with the rent, our families will be evicted soon. And with so many people currently homeless due to the explosions and the corrupt government not compensating us for what we have lost, we will not have any place to go. We will not be able to move into any lower cost apartments because over 77,000 apartments have been destroyed. Since the explosion, I have been experiencing many panic attacks, and my son has been so afraid that he cannot sleep. The blast has also affected his hearing, making him nearly deaf, and I have lost my home, mental health, job, and the good memories that I have from my home city of Beirut. I am scared since my health care isn't functioning correctly. I cannot take my son to the hospital to check on his hearing because I do not have enough money to afford it. The Beirut community deserves better.
From a financial standpoint, the explosion is simple. It comes down to a lack of money. You can blame one of two parties, the Lebanese government or the ship owners. The ship carrying the ammonium nitrate docked in 2013 with engine issues in the Beirut port. It means the ship owners didn't keep up with the maintenance, which could be a lack of money or a lack of caring to further your investment. The ship owners then refused to pay port fees or leave the Beirut port. This caused the ship to be unloaded and impounded. The explosion caused about $3.8 to $4.6 billion in material damage. Then in 2014, the shipment of chemicals intended for Mozambique was unloaded from the boat into Warehouse 12 because they didn't pay the port fees. In Warehouse 12, it was stored improperly, and it doesn't take a chemistry major to know that ammonium nitrate is highly reactive and combustible. A fire came into contact with the NH4NO3 ammonium nitrate, causing the Beirut explosion of 2020. Another financial approach could be to blame the taxpayers, as you can see over here. The people of Lebanon could have elected corrupt leaders who didn't budget the tax dollars properly. This would have led to improper training in the military or a lack of material to properly store the ammonium nitrate. Several sources claim the military was negligent in the handling and protocol surrounding the combustible chemical.